What's going on YouTube? It's Io Richie here and I'm back with another video, and I just wanted to talk about 5 different situations with Leo that may be unfair. So we're going to take a look at them now. So the first one, we have FF2 into Sabaki, and these are all going to be options from FF2 because Leo is at -9, and you know, in a game like Tekken you're supposed to take your turn back, you know, when your opponent's at low frames. So it's safe. Used to be unsafe, used to be -10 back in previous seasons, but -9. I'm going to show you why being -9 with Leo is so strong after going through all 5 of these options. So first we have FF2 into Sabaki. The input for Sabaki is 2+3, so you're going to see it now. So yes, that's the Sabaki, the safe Sabaki. So if I don't do anything and I just block, -8. Okay, so why is this strong? Okay, so -9, you want to take your turn back and you just want to check your opponent. So you might do a down forward 1 that is unsteppable, you know, they can't back that shit, just to check your opponent. Well, that Sabaki is actually a launcher. If the Leo player has the execution, they can dash up and do a QCF3, get a pickup, full combo, and basically half your health bar. So there's that. Way of dealing with it would obviously be kicks because it's only a punch Sabaki. So you want to do, you know, down forward 4. I guess that's your best check with Kazuya, but with whatever character you play, find an effective mid poke that is a kick to avoid getting Sabaki'd. Okay, so like you're gonna see now, if you jab at -9, the Sabaki will not work because it's a 2-frame startup. So you do not have the frames to Sabaki a jab in that scenario. So we're gonna go on to the next one now. So next scenario, forward 4-2 into Hopkick. Okay, and now why is this so strong? You gotta think. You're thinking about the Sabaki now after -9. So you're not gonna do, you know, a down forward 1 check. You're gonna go for your down forward 4 maybe. Something like that. I guess you can still jab. Jab is still effective. We're gonna look at the options. So yeah, jab is still effective. But now the Leo player is doing hop kick, and you're doing down forward 4 as a check. But what you need to realize is the Leo player is going for a full launch, and in return you're only getting a mid check. So depending on the character that you play, of course. Now, of course, I could do down forward 2 in this scenario and get a counter hit. But what you need to remember is that down forward 2 is a punch. So you could get launched for your troubles. So those are the type of situations that you're playing into when you play against Leo. So what happens now if I try and take my turn back with a low? So we're gonna go for a down back 4. You know, full launch. So really what you want to be doing is going for things like this. Generic low. You know, just a fast low, I'd say up to 16 frame low should work. I think anything slower than that and it's just not gonna work. So yeah, again, check what tools your character has, you know, to deal with that. So yeah, it's super strong because the Leo player isn't risking too much unless you start, you know, sidestepping at -9, in which case, you know, you're giving the Leo player a lot of leverage to kind of just do what they want at that point if you start, you know, adding movement at -9 to the game. So there's that as well. What else is there? So we have FF2 into, and now this parry, slower startup than the Sabaki, but it parries punches and kicks. So the effective options you have, again, jab will work. You also have down forward 4 because the parry starts up at 6 frames. So -9, you know, you have up to 15 frames where you will not get parried. 14 frames where you will not get parried, sorry. So yeah. Down forward 1, parried. Back 2, not parried. So as you can see, you know, these are your options that you have, but then again you have to think about the previous options. You have to think about the Sabaki. You don't want to get punch Sabaki'd. So, what if I go for a back four? Parried, wall splat. Depending on where you are on the stage, of course. But of course, this parry is less rewarding than the sabaki because, you know, it covers 2 options. So it'd be pretty crazy if it was a launching parry when you have the sabaki. Do you know what I mean? So there's also that. You can call out the parries, of course. You know, kind of just wait and then see what they do and then punish effectively. You know, things like this. We also have, right, so here what I wanted to demonstrate is what happens if you take a turn back with a low and the Leo player blocks your low. Now this is probably the best I-11 punish in the game. So whenever you do a low and it's blocked, you're going to take a big hit from this. And now this is insanely strong to have, whether it's in tournament, whether it's just your character in general. I mean, anyone that plays Leo, they're eating with a low block punish like this, or a while standing punish like this. I-11, it's just insane. It's really insane. So that's what I was demonstrating there. I showed you the previous options where, you know, I go for a low, the hop kick wins. I go for, you know, just a poke. The Leo player's doing a hop kick and they don't get airborne, they don't get floated from it. It then becomes a situation where I want to counter hit check them, but they could sabaki me. And then there's also the other parry that comes into play. So if I want to use back 4 as Kazuya and get a counter hit on the sabaki read, I can get parried. And then also, you know, if I go for back 4 and they duck, you know, if a Leo player's shot, they'll get a punish, whether it's while standing 2, whether it's while standing 4, 1+2. So these kind of defensive options, you have to look at them as defensive options because even though the Leo player is being offensive, doing a hop kick, it is kind of defensive because you're not risking too much. Like I showed with just the poke, like it keeps me on the ground because the jump frames haven't started, I don't get floated, I don't eat a lot of damage. So we're going to go into the last option now. Okay, so we have Kempo. Alright, so I mean, I feel like this speaks for itself as to why it's so strong. But luckily, there is a lot of options, like long range options that kind of beat this. But it just depends really. I think -9 into Kempo isn't really too effective as Leo. But it's something to think about. For sure, because let's say, exactly, if I do, you know, if I try and mix you up with the FF3, you might be able to even launch me, you know, if it whiffs with a KNK3, so something to think about. What about if I do an instant hell sweep? Okay, instant hell sweep reaches, but it won't always reach, as you can see. Counter hit launch, so yeah. What about down back 4? So yeah, as you can see, it definitely can be effective. Like, it won't always be effective, but it can be. So it's something to think about always. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about those options. A lot of people have, you know, had a lot of stresses playing against Leo recently. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, really have a look at some of the stuff that Leo is getting away with in Tekken 7. You know, as we're going into Tekken 8 very soon and Leo has been revealed. You know, I got my trailer reaction, a little analysis of what I saw. And if Leo carries on the way that Leo is in this game, in Tekken 8, I mean, Leo players are eating and I'm a Leo player, so what can I say? But yeah, I hope you liked the video. Please leave a comment in the comment section and subscribe to the channel. And catch me on Twitch. I stream over there often. Twitch.tv/AyoRichie, AYORICHIE. And yeah, catch me in the next video.